Good morning, students. Let's continue our chapter, role of gender. Okay. So, today we will discuss about gender and social inequalities. Page number 246. Gender and social inequalities. Gender inequality is closely linked to other forms of social inequality. In principle, men and women are equal, with the same rights and duties. In practice, however, that is not so. Men generally earn more than women. They get better jobs, they make all important decisions in the family and have better position of power in society. There are more boys than girls in school. There are many reasons for this. Girls are made to stay at home to do chores or look after younger brothers and sisters. They are also married off early and bear children at the young age. So, gender inequality is closely related or linked to the social inequality. Actually, both men and women have the same rights and the same duties, which has been given by the government. But in practice, we will see that the male member of the family, or the male or the man, he used to earn more than a woman, right? In family also, it is only the man who is taking major decisions. If you see in the school, you will find more boys student than the girl students. Why? Because the girl child has to take care of her younger brother or younger sister or whatever, or for the family, right? And sometimes the girl child used to get married at the very, very early age. She is forced to get married, right? So, this gender inequality has been given by the society only. Okay. Society or family, or we usually see this type of inequality between men and a woman, between girl and a boys. Okay. Now, the economic aspect of gender. In most societies, the socio-economic relations between men and women are largely unequal. Women receives unequal distribution of land and access to resources such as food and health care. So, in society also, there is inequality, or the whatever differences are there, that is unequal between the men and the woman economically. Okay, woman always receives unequal distribution, or we can say less than men, right? Whether it's a property or whether it's the resources, woman used to get less than a man. In our family also, our parents always used to say that this house, this car, this land belongs to my son. They never say these things belongs to my daughter, right? So, unequal distribution. Economically also, women are deprived of equality. An increasing number of girls and women are living in poverty. The gap between women and men is widening. In some countries, men and women inherit land equally. Where women have equal economic security with men, they also tend to have equal social and political power. In many Western countries, an increasing number of women are entering traditionally male-dominated profession, and more men are willing to share household work with their partners. Things are changing in some developing countries as well. So, if we see in our society, or if we see in the remote areas, we will find maximum numbers of girls and women who lives in a poverty, who are very, very poor. Okay, so the gap, this economic gap between the men and the women is very, very wide. But in some developing countries or some Western countries, we will see that even women are entering into a business world. They are giving competition to the men. Even women are earning more than men, and the male person of that or the men's, they are participating in household work. And in few countries, you will see that women goes to earn money, and the men used to do all the household work, like our mother. So, in developing countries, things are changing nowadays. Okay. The invisibility of women's work. Women's work are always ignored. The work done by a woman is rarely recognized in most cultures. If all activities including cooking, housekeeping, maintenance of kitchen, garden and poultry, grinding food grains, collecting water and firework, etc. are taken into account, 88% of rural housewives and 66% of urban housewives can be considered economically productive. However, their employment in family farms or business is not counted as economically productive, and any income generated from this work is generally taken away by the men. So, whatever works the women do, that always be ignored. According to men or according to our society, that is not a work at all. Right? Our mother used to cook everything, housekeeping, maintenance of kitchen, garden and poultry sometimes, and collecting water, firewood. Our mother or the female members in our society, they used to do all these things, right? And if we see that, if we hire somebody, if we hire a maid to do all these works, that time the maid, we have to give certain amount to that maid, right? But all those works are doing by our female member of the family without any cost. So they are not earning any money. The work is not counted as important. The work is not recognized as important, right? 88% of the rural housewife and 66% of the urban housewife can be considered economically productive. However, their employment in their whatever business they used to do, like in farms also, like in agricultural field, women used to go, right? They grow foods and they used to earn money, but that cannot be counted as earning. And most of the time, the male member or the men used to take away that money also from the woman. So the works are invisible for the male society. Women's economic dependence on men affects their power within the family. This issue is particularly important in India because studies shows a very low level of female participation in the labor force. With their increased participation in income generating activities, not only will there be more income for the family, but gender inequality will also be reduced significantly. Women are always dependent on men, right? Financially, for the money. And if a woman did not depend on the men, what will they say? If the men has to depend on woman for the money, their ego will be hurt. The male ego will hurt, right? And generally in India, you will see that in laborers, you will find more number of female participation. There are more female laborers in India. Okay. With their increased participation in income generating activities, not only will there be more income for the family, but gender inequality will also be reduced significantly. If the women are working as a labor in a factory or somewhere else, and if they started to earn money, that time there will be income, there will be money for in their family also, as well as this will reduce inequality between men and women. This will reduce gender inequality. Okay, if the woman get a chance to work, if women get a chance as a laborer only, because in a rural area you will find lots of men work as a labor, right? And if the woman gets that opportunity to, then that will be helpful for the society, for their family, as well as for the society, because gender inequality will be reduced because of that. Now, the women's empowerment. There have been many movements focusing on giving women economic right. A range of government programs have been launched to increase economic opportunities for women. Now, nowadays we are seeing that there are so many movements are going on for the women's economic right. Many government programs, they have given opportunities to the women. in this competitive examination only, you will see that in few examinations, all the girl students, they do not have to pay anything. It's free for girls, whereas boys has to pay. Okay, so these types of programs and women's empowerment or feminism, all these are programs that is basically for the women's. Things are changing for the better. Today there are more girls in school, more and more women are coming out of home to take up jobs or engage themselves in business or social work. This has helped many of them to be financially independent and self-confident. Women have also joined political bodies. Today, women from about 1/3 of the elected representatives in the Panchayati Raj institution in our country. It is very significant achievement. They are also fighting for 33% reservation in the Lok Sabha. Nowadays, the things are changing, right? We can see more number of girl student in a school. Women are participating in politically also. You will find a woman as in many working institution. You will find more numbers of women, right? And in this Panchayati Raj, there is a 30%, 1/3 of the member has to be woman. This is one of the most significant achievement in India. Okay, and women are also fighting for 33% of reservation in the Lok Sabha as well. In Lok Sabha also, you will see 33% MPs will be the women, like in Panchayati Raj. So, this is called women's empowerment. Women are having power nowadays. Government has given so many opportunities, development programs for the woman, and women itself, they are willing to come outside. They are willing to do a job. And families have also nowadays, they did not discriminate between a boy and a girl child. Okay, so this is the end of the chapter. I will give you a few questions. One more chapter is left for your final term, that is India and democracy. Okay.